This is a story that I tell when my friends are sharing early humiliations in the service industry before they broke into their fields of choice. I've told it, performed it, and condensed it so many times over the years, but to the best of my memory, it is completely true. I was 19 years old. My dad had just gotten me a summer job as a cater waiterer with this catering company. And the very first day I was there, this guy comes up to me and he's like, well, I'm standing in the sun. And he's like, get the shade. You got to get into the shade. And I'm like, why? And he's like, because you can get sunstroke and bam, crack your head up on the concrete. Easy. It is the middle of summer. It is Central Texas. And we are all wearing all black all the time. It was wedding season. Usually my jobs were to polish and roll silverware, help the florists with the place settings, clear the place settings, dump the dregs of the drinks into this huge bucket that would inevitably get sloshed on me before the end of the night, prep limes and lemons, and help with cutting the cake, occasionally. But tonight was special because tonight I was passing out the finger foods. Now, circulating is actually kind of a fun job. It's the sexy part of catering. And as long as you don't internalize the image of yourself offering people things on a silver platter. It's a little bit like a Stanislavski exercise where your task is to seduce and your line is a bacon-wrapped shrimp. And when you're a cater waiter, you don't really exist. You're like a neutral and very attractive prop in somebody else's very exciting night. That's why they have you in stage blacks. Anyway, it was the golden hour and the shift leader was up my ass because the appetizers weren't being circulated fast enough, which was maybe because it was 100 degrees and nobody wanted warm shrimp. But she tells me I should be more aggressive. Dinner isn't until 8 and people are drinking too fast. So I, who take notes very well, start harassing people. Bacon wrapped shrimp, bacon wrapped shrimp, bacon wrapped shrimp, until some people literally tell me to leave them alone. Until there was this one guy who actually took the bait. He took it off my tray by the toothpick directly from the tray and ate it in a single bite. And somehow by his energy, I can tell that he is the uncle of the bride. He says, this is delicious. And I thank them. And I turn to his companion and I repeat my line. That was shrimp, the guy says. Yeah? I have a shellfish allergy, he says. And I'm like, you have a what? He's like, I'm allergic. And I'm like, I see his face has gone already and swollen, and then he's like, and he's going around being like, you gave me shrimp, they gave me shrimp, somebody get my wife, please. And then his wife shows up, which is this big blonde shiny-faced woman, and she's like, oh my god, where is your EpiPen? And she's rifling through her purse, and I mean, I'm in shock. But my initial reaction, if anything, was embarrassment, because I should be prepared for this. My best friend has a deadly peanut allergy. I teach classes on how to administer Narcan. I used to be the one who made sure that people at parties got home safe. And now, because of one mistake, this fucking guy at this fucking wedding is gonna die on me, and I'm gonna get fired and probably sued. And I guess that they just saw the blood draining out of my face, because then he goes, hey! He was not, in fact, going into anaphylactic shock. And that woman wasn't his wife. A couple of weeks before, I had been working at this traditional Pakistani wedding, which is like a 3-day long affair. There were the shifts were broken up into these marathon shifts, and as I was leaving my shift, the groom entered, and he was on this white horse, and I guess I was just running on no sleep because I was convinced that it was a dream and that he was death. And I felt the presence of death again in that moment, right then. He was having a laugh at my expense. Afterwards, I went to the parking lot where all of my friends were on a smoke break, and I told them what happened. And I told it like it was the funniest story in the world, except nobody was laughing. And over that night, the man apologized like 7 times, each time drunker than the last. And I told this story again and again, and I learned to tease out the plot. I learned to perfect the twist ending. I still tell it to this day. Sometimes when I'm drunk enough, I embellish and say that I told him, you should be sorry. You should be sorry, you sack of shit. But really, I just said, it's okay.
The 24-hour plays is an artistic home for me. The team has really believed in me ever since I was a director in the life-changing Nationals program, and every time they ask me to come back since then, I'm just more and more grateful to be a part of this family.
I'm not enough to carry this 24-hour plays phenomenon on my tiny shoulders, so that's why we need your help to keep it going.
The 24-hour plays raises up audiences, artists, and this year for me personally, they really reminded me that the show does indeed go on.